How would you like to attract more abundance into your life? Well, the law of attraction is one wonderful way to do that. So I'm going to teach you in this video what you can do to attract money using the law of attraction. In order to apply the law of attraction in order to make money, we have to remember and start from the place of being instead of doing. So often people get caught up in the law of attraction thinking, how do I do it? How do I attract what I want? What do I have to do to manifest all of my desires? And the core thing that everything comes back to when it comes to the law of attraction, it's not about what you're doing. It's really about who you're being, how you're feeling, and how those feelings get expressed out into the world. Now, if you want to go deeper into that, I've got two videos on the subject. One is how does the law of attraction work? And the second is how to apply the law of attraction in practice. So go check those two videos out if you're curious. But in this video, we're going to focus on practical steps of what you can do in order to apply the law of attraction specifically for wealth building, for making more money. So there are two key components to this. The first key component is about awareness around our thoughts and our beliefs. Now, our thoughts and beliefs are generally pretty invisible to us. A lot of times our mind is going, we don't even realize what's happening. And that's why meditation is such a good practice in order to gain some, I don't want to say control, but let's just call it gain some awareness and the ability to manage our thoughts. The belief systems that we hold, it's like a fish swimming in water. The fish doesn't know it's in water because it's in the water. That's how it is with our belief systems. We are in our belief systems and they color the way we look out at the world. So we want to start paying attention to the things that we say that give us some awareness into what our belief systems are. Here's some examples. If we find ourselves saying things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or there's no such thing as a free lunch, or there's never enough money to do what you want to do, or it's hard to make money. You have to struggle and sacrifice to make money. If you find yourself saying things like this or nodding your head and agreeing with things like this, then right away that's a clue that your belief system is not going to support your manifesting another level of wealth and abundance. So first things first, we got to have some self-awareness around what thoughts are running in our head on a consistent basis, and also what our beliefs are around money. Some things you might want to look at to get some clarity around your belief systems is to ask yourself, what did I learn about money from my mother? How did my mother relate to money? Now, in my case, my mother had a relationship to money that as soon as she had it, she wanted to spend it. Why? Because she had a childhood where money would come and go and come and go. And while it was there, it was a good idea to use it because it would probably go away. Now, you might also want to ask yourself, what did my dad teach me about money? Or how did my dad relate to money? What's the money legacy that you inherited from your father? So in my case, my dad was a Cuban immigrant. My dad went through, he was young, but he was about 15 years old when the Cuban Revolution happened. And he and his family lost everything, all very quickly. And so my dad's money story is it could all be gone in an instant. So save it. So whereas my mother's money story was about spending it when you have it, my dad's money story was quite the opposite. It's kind of amazing that they're still married and love each other as much as they do, given that they have completely opposite attitudes toward money. So think about in your life, and maybe it wasn't your mother or father that was most influential with you around money. Maybe it was a grandparent or an older sibling. But think about what's the story that you inherited around money. And then think about what's the story that you learned around money. You know, a kid who gets the message that money is easy to come by and there's always more around the corner and life is abundant and just waiting to shower wealth and abundance on you is going to have one attitude toward money. And someone who grew up in a very scarcity-driven environment is going to have a very different attitude around money, where if money wasn't available or if parents were always complaining about or worrying about money, that's going to create two very different relationships with money. And speaking of relationships with money, one of my friends, colleagues, and mentors around money is a woman named Christine Walsh, and she specializes in money mindset. And she often asks the question, if money were a person, what would your relationship with that person be like? Is it a relationship where you're always grasping and clinging and trying to get more? Is it a relationship where you're always trying to move out, get out as quickly as you can, like spend your money as fast as possible? I actually have a client who the other day had a massive aha moment when he realized that he has these deep-seated feelings of unworthiness. And because of that, those feelings of unworthiness, the minute he got money or earned it, he would try to get rid of it as soon as possible. So notice how our belief systems around money color our attitude around it. And so if we have a scarcity-driven attitude around money, then that's the vibration that we're going to be sending out, and that's what we're going to be getting more of. Instead, if you vibrate around, if you cultivate emotions of abundance and gratitude and appreciation, then that's going to send a different message out into the world. So that was the first piece, your thoughts and your belief systems around money. And you can really dig into this and have some fun sitting down and just writing down what are all the messages that you've received over the course of your life around money, and noticing that in our culture, on TV and in advertising, everything is driven around creating a culture of scarcity to make you want more stuff. So pay attention that you have been programmed by the media and by the culture to believe that everything is scarce. And that leads me to the second piece around money, and that's the emotions around money. Fear, joy. What does money awaken in you emotion-wise? Now, if you want to cultivate abundance and you want to generate and attract more abundance in your life, then we need to be cultivating the emotions associated with abundance. So think about it. You might not feel abundant right now, but if you were abundant, what emotions would you feel? Chances are you'd feel safe, you'd feel secure, you'd feel abundant, you'd feel appreciation and gratitude. So the key to the law of attraction around money is to go ahead and cultivate those feelings right here, right now. And from that state, vibrating out those emotions, cultivating those ways of being, and then notice how your environment out here starts to shift to match that raised vibration. So step one is looking at the thoughts and belief systems. Step two is to cultivate the emotions associated with more abundance and more wealth. So as you look at your emotions around wealth, think about, do you have any traumatic experiences associated with money? Especially if those traumatic experiences happened before the age of 7. For example, if you had a parent who was abusive and would fly into rages around with something related to money, then you might have a subconscious fear, an emotional fear stored away when it comes to the conversations about money. So think about it. Think back into your past. Think deep into your subconscious. Do you have any fear or strong negative emotions related to money, especially if they came up before the time you were 7 years old? If you do, then cultivating these feelings and these emotions of abundance will be especially important for you. So what are some of the practices you can do to change your thoughts and beliefs and cultivate those emotions? Well, step one is to slow down. That's so simple. Just slow down. Slow down so you can pay attention to when the thoughts come up, and pay attention to when the language comes out that expresses a belief system that's counter to the one you're trying to cultivate. Remember, we're trying to cultivate the emotions and thoughts and beliefs associated with abundance. So you can't go around saying and thinking and believing and feeling in things that are associated to scarcity. It's all about who we're being and how we're vibrating out in the world that creates the abundance that comes back to us. So one of my practices that I do every single morning is I meditate, and I focus on a heart meditation. So I come down here into the heart and focus on cultivating the emotions of gratitude, abundance, appreciation, and love. And by doing that every day, I start to train myself. Not to mention the meditation in itself also slows me down so that I can start to pay attention when a thought or an emotion or a language comes out that's not aligned with the abundance that I'm trying to cultivate, that I am cultivating in my life. See how I caught myself there? All right, so the final practice that you'll want to start to cultivate is the practice of generosity. Generosity implies that you already feel abundant. When we are generous, it comes from a place of abundance. So by cultivating the feelings of generosity, the feeling of my cup runneth over, that I have enough. I have more than enough, so much more than enough that I can give. That's a really big and easy way to start cultivating more emotions associated with abundance and to send out that signal into the universe that you're ready for more. If this topic resonates with you and you want to go deeper into how you can cultivate more abundance in your life, then go ahead and book a strategy session with us so you can find out how we work with people, how we coach people, and how we can support you in developing more abundance in your business and in your life. Click the link below and I'll see you on the other side.